What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Summer Career Mode. This is episode number 73, and we start today's stuff on the back of our first defeat since the Empoli loss coming in the Coppa Italia semi-final first leg to AC Milan. Not worried, we can definitely turn it around in the second leg, but first game today, man, oh man, I could not wait to play this. I was nervous, I'm not going to lie, heading into this game, because finally, we've gone top of the table in the Serie A. Juventus have finally slipped up, and finally this time we've capitalised. 2 points clear in the second half of the season, just entered it, and now taking on the old lady who won the title last year, who won the Champions League last year, who are the best team in Italy. You know, those games you're just waiting for. Could not wait. There were nerves, don't get me wrong, but I could not wait for this because I knew win this game, we'd go 5 points clear. Draw the game, yeah, situation stays the same, 2 points clear, but lose the game and it would be a disaster. We drop to second place, a point behind Juve, and they're guaranteed to have a better head-to-head record after they won the first fixture 3-1. So heading into the game, 21 minutes in, can you say worst possible start? Oh my goodness. Gerard Moreno opens the scoring for Juventus. We fall behind early on for his 10th goal of the season. He always seemed to score against me, this guy. If you've been watching me throughout FIFA 22 this year, he has been my arch nemesis this year. Gerard Moreno, I think, has scored more. I'll tell you what, two players that have scored against me the most this year. Gerard Moreno and Sadio Mane. Those are the two players that have scored against me the most in this year's FIFA. Can't stop the Spaniard. 10 in 20, 1 in 2. Juve in front. And I was thinking, just lost to AC Milan. You know how important form is. I can't have back-to-back losses. So right from kickoff, we work the ball in from left to the centre. And Nicolo Barella drills it in and gives us our leveller. Look, a win would be huge. 5 points clear. Obviously, that would be massive. But a draw is the bare minimum we can afford in this game here. A loss would be disastrous. And after we got that goal, I turned it on in the second half. No other chance in the first half. Very nervy game, as you'd expect. You can see here, this tame effort from Moise Kean said it all, really. The build-ups weren't bad, but goodness gracious me, I was really nervy in the final third. But 66 minutes in, a few minutes later, talk about making amends. That snapshot from Kean a few moments ago, absolutely tragic. It was so tame. Szczesny had about half an hour to pull out a newspaper and read it whilst he's waiting for the ball in mid-flight. But even so, makes amends following that. Kean, the former Juve forward, makes it 2-1. Would turn the game on its head. And 17 minutes to go here, a chance to make it 3-1. Nuno Mendes fires just wide the post. Juve, to be fair, they started the game off stronger. They had the opening goal. But once I got a foothold in the game, once I levelled it, and I saw the first half out in Turin, I wasn't under that much trouble. Again, my build-ups were good. My finishing was the problem in this game. Thankfully, I've taken 2 chances to have the lead. And then once again in stoppage time, had not been for Szczesny here, we would have extended the lead to 2 and won the game 3-1. And that moment right there, now you might think it was quite insignificant in the grand scheme of things. And I suppose it kind of was, because we'd won the game anyway. There was never enough time for Juve to go and grab a leveller. We win the game 2-1. We get the 3 points and we go 5 points clear in the Serie A right now. But that save by Szczesny there might turn out to be one of the most important moments of the season, and let me tell you why. You see the stats here again. My passing in this game was really poor. I was trying to play quick counter-attacking football, and like I said, I got a few good chances, but the finishing was really poor as well. But even so, let me tell you why that moment there might prove to be crucial, because obviously in the Serie A, if teams are level on points, it goes head-to-head record and then goal difference. Now, goal difference ain't a problem. We're way clear of Juve. 14 games to go. It's not going to come down to that. But of course it wouldn't anyway, because first it'll come down to head-to-head. Now, Juventus won the first fixture against us in Milan by 3-1. Now, that second fixture, Szczesny stopped it from becoming 3-1 with the final kick of the game. Now, this is a long way off, but 14 games to go. Let's say, hypothetically, we end up on level points with Juventus. They'll win the title by that single goal. Had we scored it, it would be an advantage into Milan, and then some, because obviously we're 5 points clear, but also it'll mean the head-to-head cancels out, because we both won 3-1 away from home. So we'd have the exact same scoreline, the exact same result in both fixtures, 3-1. So if we finish level on points, it'll go head-to-head, but then it's level on head-to-head as well, 3-1 each. And then obviously it'll go to goal difference, and you know, let's be honest, I think we're 18 goals clear of Juve. We're not going to get caught up by the old lady, I don't think. Touch wood. So it would mean that we're going to finish above them if we finished on points. But because Szczesny made that save, it means Juve have a slightly, only by 1 goal, but slightly better head-to-head record than us. Yes, we've won 1 and lost 1 each in the 2 fixtures, but they won by 1 more goal than we did in the reverse fixture. So I tell you what, I will absolutely be seething if it does come down to that. But it does mean that save by Szczesny might end up making a difference. But you know what? Long way to go. And what we know is this. We're 5 points clear, win our remaining games, but 1... You know, it's a tall ask, asking to win 13 games out of 14, but let's say how effectively we do that, we'll be champions. So yeah, massive, massive win there. That goal would have made it even more so, but hey, listen, I'll take the win. Lord knows, pre-game, I would have taken scraping through of a 1-goal win. Anyway, second game of today's episode, and the big game's continuing today. Yes, the Spurs away, taking on Antonio Conte's team in North London. Champions League, last 16. Last time, we went to England, we of course lost to Manchester City in the Champions League quarter-final. Now we're in North London, and heading into the game, I made a really big decision. Now, Spurs are in 6th right now, not having a great season in the Premier League, but they've got an amazing team, including Messi's regen up top. Heading into the game, I decided to make a big decision. Moise Kean, my second highest scorer this year, scored on a weekend against Juve, dropped him from the squad. And who did I start? Gianluca Scamacca. Why did I do that? Well, he's my top scorer in the Champions League. It's a big decision to drop one of your top scorers, one of the top scorers in the Serie A, and of course, one of the top boys in world football right now in terms of rating. But I did it. I made a bold change. I chose Scamacca, and I didn't regret it. He scored the opening goal of the game. 6 goals in 6 for our number 9. And then soon after the restart, Spurs trying to play quickly. We get the ball back. Rapid counter-attack. Quickly through to the penalty area. And there is Federico Chiesa, the former Spurs man. We signed him from Spurs last year, back in January. He scores our second goal, and that would surely see us win the game. But to be fair to Spurs, they kept on attacking, and in the game, Andre Onana turned Super Saiyan. Unbelievable performance from our Cameroonian shot stopper, and there's no doubt about it. The Juve game, I deserved to win. Yes, my finishing was quite poor at times, but I felt I was the better team. But in this game here, I got 1 man to thank and 1 man only. That's my number 24, Andre Onana. The stats were very deceptive here. Like I say, I always present the highlights package very, very fairly. The stats will show you we were the slightly better team. Absolute rubbish. Nonsense. We weren't. Spurs had the far better chances. I don't know why the XG was lower as well, because they had much better quality of chances too. Actually, to be fair, probably about equal, I'd say. But even so, no doubt about it, Spurs were the better team, created more chances than us, even if the quality was around the same. But Andre Onana with 4 massive saves in the game. That late one there through Harry Kane, once again, like that Juve win, could prove to be crucial. In the grand scheme of things, it might not seem like it matters, but it could do, because it stops the Spurs getting the goal to cut the gap to 1, heading back to the San Siro. Now, we have a 2-goal cushion heading back home. We've only lost by 2 or more goals so far at home since we joined Inter Milan, this season I should say, or Inter Milan. Who was that against? Juventus. So yeah, I feel very confident indeed now. 2-0 lead heading back to the San Siro. If we concede no more than 1 goal, which I feel quite confident. Again, we've only lost a game by 2 or more goals once this season coming to Juve, then yeah, I feel confident we'll be making it through. So I won't say 1 foot in the quarterfinals, but we've got a great advantage winning that game and holding on to the clean sheet heading back to Italy as well. So third and final game, Fiorentina in the Serie A, aiming to keep our 5-point gap at the top of the table over Juventus, taking on Fiorentina. Once again, Andre Onana. What a signing he's been, man. Seriously, I brought him in for the realism, of course, and another great save right before the break, kept it 0-0. Chiesa opened the scoring, going for the golden boot, made it 1-0 against his forward team. But Luca Digne got the leveller for Fiorentina. The former Everton and Aston Villa man makes it 1-1. Fiorentina back on level terms. It's 1-1, and then right from kickoff, Denzel Dumfries says, sod it, I'll do it myself. Goes all the way down the right-hand side and almost catches the goalkeeper out as well. Good save, near post, still 1-1. But a draw, as we know, would be disappointing. We've just taken the lead in the Serie A. We've now got a 5-point gap on Juventus as well. Slipping up in the very next game would be so disappointing, and also kind of typical of our last season. So I was pushing, I was pressing late on, I was doing everything I could to find that late winning goal. Oh, 3 minutes to go, Nuno Mendes so close. That shot rippling the roof of the net as it was still 1-1, and our final chance falling with a minute of normal time to go. The goal scorer Chiesa rolls it through. Skamaka just came off the bench, rolls through Moise Kean, and dropped in the week against Spurs. Comes back on the weekend. That's a sign of a true professional. Yep, Moise Kean dropped for the Wednesday night clash in North London. He would have been hurt by that. He would have been hurt, but that's a sign of a true professional. Misses a big Champions League game this week. Dropped for the game. What does he do on the following game? Comes back in the team. Does what he needs to. Pops up with the game winner. I just bought Skamaka off the bench as well. I was playing a 4-1-2-1-2 diamond narrow at this point. Just bought Skamaka off the bench. He got the assist for Kean. That was his first involvement as well. Moise Kean holds off Nicholas Saul. Not an easy thing to do against the giant German, but does so. Smacks it home and wins the game with a minute to go. Yep, final score Inter 2, Fiorentina 1. Would have been livid had I not won this game as well. Loads of great chance, particularly in the second half, but we'll take it. We're bailed out late on through Moise Kean. I tell you, Moise, you might have missed on Wednesday night, but that's because Skamaka's too good in the Champions League. But in the Serie A, you'd always be my go-to partner alongside top scorer Chiesa. But as you can see, Juve, they also won their game against Salernitana. So 13 games to go. Gap remains the same. We don't watch it get cut to 3. We remain 5 points clear, 13 games to go. Win 12 of them, we are Serie A champions. But that will end today's episode of the Realistic Summer Career, guys. Big thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you like, much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode featuring the second leg against Spurs very soon.